Hey, and welcome back to Convos with Luconda K. I am your host, Luconda King, and without further ado, let's go and get into this next conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newness. Welcome to After the Shift. Welcome to After Christ Has Risen. Palm Sunday, the Sunday before, last Sunday before Easter Sunday, okay? For those of us who are really in our word and we seek God and seek to live a life like Christ, we felt the shift. We felt the presence of something else being here. And we probably prayed more and harder than that last week leading up until what we celebrate as Jesus' death, that Good Friday, leading up until then. And there were some things that we personally needed to have buried in that time. Yeah. And because we either had to pray for other people and pray for ourselves in a we're struggling with this, that last little bit of residue from that sin, or connecting with people, or things that no longer are going to be able to thrive in this next season. Because the season has changed, your vegetables, your crop, your harvest gonna look different too. Because the same thing that you eat in winter is not gonna be available to you in summer. Yeah. So therefore, there are things that we had to plant coming up to it. There were things that we had to ask for coming up to this. And because there's a different version of us required for all these miracles that are about to happen, for all of these things that are going to happen because we step fully into what it is that God Himself wants to give us. We kept seeking. We kept asking. We kept knocking. And the fact that you kept coming to Him, things automatically were shedding off of you and you didn't even know. And then there are things that you willingly participated in, whether you knew it was against God or not, because you asked for their help. Yeah, that shepherd that maketh me lay. Yeah, that is where we are in the making. We're in the becoming. So with us knowing that we're in the making and the becoming season, embrace it. Embrace it. Because now this is the season where you're going to see God be God in all of His glory. This is where you get to see Jesus' word really is true. Because you're fully in alignment with the Spirit of God and it's going to rain on you. It's pouring all over you. But you had to commit fully. And whether that meant leaving some people behind, whether that means the relationship had to shift, as in change, maybe leadership had to change. Maybe the friendship group had to change. Maybe the church itself had to change. Meaning the building you go fellowship at. But there are some things that had to change within you, that is the church as well. And I'm going to give a personal story because there was this one thing that I was struggling with. And I was like, okay, God, like I really need your help with this. And when you ask God for your help, for His help, and you need His strength, and you are wholeheartedly asking, you sincerely meant it, and you surrendered it to Him, you don't have to worry about it. And I said the prayer, I ain't thought nothing else about it until after I had done something that I needed the help with, right? And I felt like this feels different. Why is this different? It was so many questions. He said, you asked me for help. Just because the help didn't come looking like what you would have expected, or it didn't feel how you thought it should have felt coming from me, does not mean that the mission wasn't accomplished. It came about the way it needed to in order to get you into position, in order to get you to see me as who I am and place me where I need to be in your life. We got to understand that God is doing it for us, us. You're so special. You're the one that he'll leave everybody else for to come get. You're the one that is so great to him to where he is willing to move in with you when you accept his son. He's willing to whisper to you all day long, be in relationship with you. You were so special that even before you were born, his son's life was given. And we have got to step into that in this season. That old mindset, that old stuff that we were dealing with, those old people. This is that up 20 and younger, we got to get up out of here. We can't keep doing it the old way. So let's shift. Let's go ahead and surrender it all, because there's so much more that God has to offer to us in this season. But will you stay the course that got you here? Will you continue to seek him, although you're going to receive what it is that you asked for? Will you seek him for more? Will you ask him for more? Will you knock for more? Will you stay and endure for more? Will you continue to be the one that he can pour into and you pouring into others? So everything that he's given you, you're giving to others. Will you allow that to be your spring? Will you allow that to be your newness? Will you allow yourself to be that church? Will you allow yourself to be that disciple? Will you allow yourself to be that follower? Will you allow yourself to be that conduit? Will you allow yourself to be that kingdom worker? Will you live from that place, which is the kingdom of heaven, which is the place that he wanted us? Will your life be the place in the earth that reflects what happens in heaven? Convos with Lukanda K. Enjoy your day.